everyone, it's Monday Live with MJ and Mr. Hermes, your source of good news where you start your week on a brighter side. Today, we're going to be talking a lot about our pandemic and assistance of our pandemic. What are we doing? Because we are extended right now. It's not that we loved it, but we have to find ways on how to sustain this pandemic. So, first thing first, last Friday, our Treasury Secretary issued a proposal or proposition regarding another set of PPP loan or Paycheck Protection Program for our small businesses, especially for the minority-owned businesses, because a lot of our minority-owned businesses didn't get the PPP loan, which is really a huge help for small businesses right now. And another good news is about the PPP loan is not only that they're gonna release another set of the PPP loan, they are proposing that those who receive a loan of 150,000 or less, yes guys, it's 150,000 or less, will be turned into a grant instead of asking or applying forgiveness of your loan, of your PPP loan. The Congress is proposing to forgive it automatically if you receive a loan of less than 150,000. Okay, so that's the great news last Friday, fresh from the Congress.
Does the loan forgiveness process need to be simplified anymore? For example, I know there's some members of Congress that have suggested perhaps even forgiving all the loans under $150,000, for example. I'm not saying that we should or shouldn't do that, but I'd love to hear your kind of thoughts about it. I've heard a lot of concerns from folks out there about how complicated the forgiveness process can be. If you could talk a little about that.
Well, we look forward to working with this committee and the Senate Small Business Committee to simplify the process. There were provisions in the existing act that made it complicated. We tried to issue as much guidance as we could. I know one of the things we'll talk about is, should we just have forgiveness for all the small loans? I think that's something we should consider. We should obviously make sure there's some fraud protection, but we look forward to working with this committee and others.
Thank you.
And for our money side, let's hear from our money doc, attorney Hermes.
What's going on, everybody? Hopefully everyone's having a great Monday so far, and we got some great information from MJ, didn't we? And I love those ideas of, how we need to actually get Congress to do some more relief here. And that's some great information. If you want to know more about it, please message us, put it in the comments. We'll get that information as soon as possible. So what I wanted to talk about today is, where are we in the context of this pandemic? It's not open yet. We're having a lot more cases, a lot more hospitalizations. And what are we going to do? We need to actually figure out how to get through this happily, healthily, and all that. Get everybody's money, savings, so we're not depleting it. That's why Congress did a great job with the PPP loan, and hopefully they can fix that. So it's interesting that a lot of cities, a lot of towns, a lot of countries right now, they're kind of going more toward the bartering system. We read a story about MJ's hometown of Bacolod in the Philippines, and that's actually what they're doing. They're bartering with the things they have, whether or not it's chickens or eggs, whether or not it's goods that they've made, things that they've produced. And it kind of makes me think, where are we in society if we had to go back to that today? Do people have enough citrus trees and things you could bargain with? Do people have enough assets, or do you have enough skills? Are there new skills that you want to actually learn, or that you've been learning? I've been studying up on different topics, different things, been learning coding and things like that, different things. But how is that going to help you in the future? If we're going to go toward a bartering system, which a lot of cities have been doing because they don't have any money, they're not receiving income because their jobs are gone. So what are we doing? We need to actually learn how to get those skills so that we can trade those with someone else, because everyone has a skill that someone else could use, because obviously I don't have a lot of skills that I haven't been able to study. How do you acquire those? You hire somebody that can do it. Let's say they don't have any money to pay. So what do? You'll exchange it for a service that you're able to do or able to provide to them. It's actually a great way. A lot of people have been doing that for thousands of years. So we actually need to go back and study the way the ancient Mesopotamians, the Babylonians, the Phoenicians, how they and their societies functioned in the bartering world, because we might be going to that. I mean, we've already started that 20 years ago with eBay, and now we have Alibaba and all these different companies that are, they're not bartering with money, but it's a way to actually sell things that are used And that's been something that's been going on forever. So we need to actually learn those new skills. If you need to put that into a website, learn the web design, or find somebody who can do it for you, and then maybe you can barter with them with some skill that you can provide to them. It's a great way to learn new skills today, but it's also a great way to protect yourself just in case we have to go down that route. So you want to learn as many skills as possible and learn as many different ways of accumulating the things you need for safety, health, and all that.
Hey guys, to summarize with you, Sean has something to say about what's the difference between EIDL loan, the one that we called EIDL, and PPP loan.
So a lot of people, maybe you, have actually applied for both the PPP loan, Paycheck Protection Program loan, and the EIDL, which they call the EIDL loan. Now the EIDL is actually something that you have to repay at pretty good rates, 3.75% over 30 years. And part of it could be a grant that you do not have to pay, up to $10,000. I believe they were doing that about $1,000 per employee at your company. And the PPP loan was something that you could actually apply for 100% forgiveness. So we've had some different guidance. They've had some different things roll out. They're trying to see if they can do a second round of PPP loans, but they've had different EIDL iterations. And one of the new things they're talking about right now is that they're going to try to extend more protection, more funding to small businesses, especially minority-owned businesses that might have, didn't receive the funding they needed to get through the stopgap. So that's pretty exciting that if you have not applied for something like that, either of them, you have the ability right now because they're going to be probably getting funding in the next couple of weeks for maybe July, August, and September, because we definitely have some need for that.
The EIDL loan that you don't have to repay is called advanced EIDL loan, which is usually between $1,000 to $10,000, as Sean emphasized. And the other loan is the EIDL loan. There's so many ways to get it. However, the PPP loan is just one way to get it, only just for this pandemic.
Yeah.
But there might be the same PPP loan and a second set because we are extended right now.
And one of the great things we read about was the fact that they are considering making all PPP loans under $150,000 forgivable automatically.
Yes,
so
we
we'll keep you up to date on that, whether or not that passes through Congress. What is the thing that we need to remember to let people know about EIDL versus PPP?
EIDL is something that you should repay, but part of it, advance, you don't need to repay, and it will be for 30-year term. However, the PPP loan is something that you can liquidate or you can ask forgiveness up to 100% if you pay it with qualified expenses. So that those are two differences, but hopefully the PPP loan will be turned into a grant as proposed by the Congress.
And one last thing to remember about the PPP versus the EIDL EIDL loan: you can't use the funds for the EIDL loan for the same things that you use for the PPP loan. So you must talk to the SBA, contact us, and we can assist you with more information on that. You definitely cannot use the money that you receive from the EIDL loan through the SBA for payroll if you already use the PPP loan. So they're going to try to figure out how to rectify that, but until they do, make sure you don't do that, so you don't want to get dinged for anything. All right, so have a great day.
Have a great news,
and we'll get you some more information as soon as we can.
Ready for the dance. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome to our dance. Today we are doing the 6-step and 8-step. So we taught you about the 8-step last time and the 6-step, but this one is going to be more interesting because it's about how do we do it first. 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5,
actually going to have to push her back a little bit more. So that one we didn't push as much. We're going to do sugar push.
1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. We get it in another direction. Push on the and the other 6 counts is a sugar push.
Sugar push point.
A sugar push point. Let's do it. 4 and 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6. We can do it on the other side with my feet. Focus. 1, 2, 8 step. The first 8 step, well, this is the only 8 step we're going to introducing today. So pay attention. It is actually a continuation of the sugar push point. What do you call it? To the 8 counts of the back whip, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How'd you love that? How'd you love it so far? Hope you loved it and you liked it. And ciao everybody, happy Monday.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, press the button below. And if you want to subscribe and watch us in future videos, press the subscribe button. You can follow us on other social media accounts as well. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.